Well, welcome to Pansaka. We are back right here on Ubuntu channel with your favorite and exciting program where we look at different social and lifestyle issues affecting communities, nation, and our lives. Well, tonight we are having a great topic, and it's part one. We are looking at single life, and I am joined by Auntie Caroline on tonight's discussion. Auntie Caroline, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, CJ. Good evening, Mr. Adam. Good evening, viewers.
Good evening. Thank you. Hope you've had a great day and a great week as well. Mr.
Thank
Abia is
you.
also on the set. Good evening, Mr. Abia. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, CJ, and my fellow panelists, Madam Caroline, and also to the viewers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abia. Well, viewers, as we are getting started with the program, number one, if you have not yet liked Ubuntu channel, please go on the like button and click on it. Follow Ubuntu channel. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any time we have something going on, any live program, any post, so that you are in the know of what is going on. Secondly, make sure you share this broadcast so that someone out there is able to join in, they're able to learn something, we're able to um, interact as well as, build one another. On this program, we do not know everything, but together we make things better. This is Ubuntu channel. Well, we are looking at single life or being single. Tonight, Evangelist is not around, but in the next, that is in part two of this discussion, we're going to have him, and we are going to carry on from there. But for tonight, in part one, we're having an introduction on this topic, and we are open to receiving those views. Please type in the comment section, send us a message. The WhatsApp line that is scrolling down there, you can use it to send your message so that together we can interact and have this conversation going. Well, nakamba vintu vambili, we better get started with this discussion. So, single life. Let me just start by taking just what like introductory um, statements or views about single life. I'll start with you, Auntie Caroline. What do you think about single life before we get to the other questions that we've had that have even been running on the ads that we've had? What is your take on single life, Auntie Caroline?
Okay, thank you so much, CJ. When I look at single life, what can I may say that there's a certain age of a male and female where they reach like now are ready to go into companionship with a different, or maybe with an opposite sex, or a partner like opposite sex, female and male, at that time where they want to go into companionship. As the Bible says, it says, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to a woman. So there's a certain age where a man feels like, I need a companionship, I need a partner, where they will settle and want to live with someone because it's biblical. It was God's ordained to say a man should not live alone, but should have a partner. That's what the Bible says. That's what God says. Man will not live alone. It is not good for man to live alone. So there's a certain age where man decides to say, I need to settle. So now, since we are talking about singleness, it's that period where maybe one is waiting to get married, or maybe one is waiting to prepare themselves, maybe to like marry, to find their soulmate, to find their partner, to find the person they want to spend the rest of their life, their lives with. So I think this is the period where we are talking about singleness. Then we can also maybe talk about the singleness where maybe one has children without having a partner, and they are still single. And maybe someone again who maybe lost a husband, or maybe lost a wife, they're still in that singleness, that single period. We can also talk about someone maybe who's divorced. They are also in that period maybe of singleness, and what is keeping them there. So it's like we want to explore more on what causes someone to stay single for a long time, and the myths about singleness. Thank you so much, CJ.
Thank you very much, Auntie Caroline. Mr. Abia, let's have your introductory remarks on tonight's topic.
Thank you so much, CJ. When you talk about the single, you're talking somebody who is not married and somebody who is not in any relationship. So, so when we're talking about single, we're talking just about a person alone. Now, CJ, there are some categories of this single life. Category number one, these are people who have chosen to be single for the rest of their life. That's category number one. They have chosen to be single for the rest of their life. These people, they have different reasons, but good enough to satisfy them not to have a partner in their life. So it's either maybe they dedicated their life to serve Jehovah, they have dedicated their life to serve other people. It's about how they feel or how they know about marriage life, and they're not interested at all, but they only dedicated their life to one single thing that they want to achieve in their life. So this is category number one of people who have chosen to be single for the rest of their life. Category number two, which I know, these are single people waiting for someone to court, to be in relationship, waiting to be married. These are single life. They are searching, in short, they are searching for someone, yeah, to be with in their marriage. So they are searching, they are doing also a different thing in their life just to attract someone to be their partner. So now they are hearing all sorts of things, but their thing is to wait for a right partner. Wait for a right partner. This is category number two. The other category which I know, these are people that are living in single life, but they are demanding to be married. In the other side, they are also feeling um, unheard when they see other married are not waking up. So they have that interference of saying, if I got married today, I'll suffer like Musa. I'll suffer like Given. I'll suffer like Bether. So all sort of things. So these are people who are living single, but with an interference of getting married, with an interference of going in relationship in order to avoid a heartbreaking. So they want to have some marriages, but just because of interference, they're living that um I'm looking for a better term to use here. CJ, in our local language, we can say, um, wakalibonghazikika maganizo. They have not settled the mind. They are not settled in their mind to say, I should get married or I shouldn't get married. So they are living in that atmosphere of interference to get married just because they feel like for they feel like they can be betrayed or they can be cheated by their spouses, which they can choose, or they have that interference of facing the problems that they can have in their marriages. So these people they have not settled for the decision yet, but they are just in the middle of saying, I want to be single, I know, but I can get married, but to this type of person, but so that's the thing. So these are types of people that are living as single.
Hmm.
The other category which I know, CJ,
Yes.
though we cannot say this is a category, but to me it's a category also.
Hmm.
These are the people who have been looking for a partner, but they have not find their suitable partner in their life. Now the age is running out from them. You see, the number of years are going, but they have not that kind of saying, I'll find one. So they have started losing hope. So they are living in a single life without choosing to be single. These are the categories that I know, CJ. For now, I'll stop right here unless there is some questions there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Abia. Mwakamba categories yambira. Now, like I said, since this is part one of the discussion, we're going to go through some common issues around this topic and get an overview and our thoughts concerning these. Viewers, feel free to send through your message. You can use the comment section there to post your comment, your contribution, or your question. We'll be very glad to have those. Now, um, there has been a phrase that has been hitting social media where people are saying marriage is a scam. So I'm going to rephrase and ask a question and say, is marriage a scam? Auntie Caroline, what do you think? Is marriage a scam?
It's a very common phrase from both the male and the female. It
Yes.
has become so common. I think what I can say is that marriage is not a scam. Marriage is a good thing. God ordained it and said it's a good thing. Marriage is a sweet and good thing if you find the right partner. Why a lot of people have been saying marriage is a scam from both sides. I think Mr. Ada has mentioned in the categories that he was mentioning to say there are some people, because of maybe childhood post-traumatic events that has happened to them while they were growing up in a home where it was a toxic relationship or maybe it was a toxic marriage. They grew
Mm,
up seeing to say the marriage is so bad. This is how marriage is. Maybe it was a mother who was so abused. Maybe it was a father who was so abused. So they feel like, wow, if this is how marriage is, then it's not a good thing. It's a scam. It's a bad thing. So you picture this marriage to a child who's growing up to be something that they would tell themselves to say, I'm not going to get married. If this is how women are treated, I'm not going to get married. If this is how
Atishipitisha club.
men, yes, this is how men should treat women, I think I don't. So this is how it's all has to do with the post traumatic events, the experiences they've had. Okay. seeing maybe they exposed to wrong marriages. Maybe it might not be a father and mother marriage. Maybe it's attached relatives or maybe closed ones, their loved ones, seeing them going through bad experiences. We've had children who just tell themselves to say, I think I would rather stay single without getting married because they've not been exposed to good marriages. They've not been exposed to a home where it's a peaceful, loving environment. So in the end, they end up to say, I think marriage is not just. I'd rather have someone. Yes, I'd rather have someone. I'm into business. Business. I've experienced a lot of someone will come to buy something and they're so much in love with the woman and they will buy a gift for someone, and then the friend says, but why don't you just marry your woman, my guy? Then he goes to say, my friend, marriage is a scam. I'm happy being with her like that. And I look at this guy, I said, but why do you speak like that? Why do you speak like that? And she said, you know what, Auntie? I would rather just be, we are just okay like that. I wouldn't want, it will not work. When we get married, it will not work out. I think I'm better off like this. They feel when they go into it, it will not work out because of the experiences they've had, because of the childhood traumas, they've not been healed out of it. Yeah.
Right. So
And
I would like
some
to.
and some yes.
Yes.
Yes, I was trying to say, and some, not because of that, but because they've had bad experiences with relationships. Okay, yeah, they've had bad experiences with the relationships. Maybe they've not come across a person that will treat them well. It can be both. Maybe it's a man who has not always seen girls exposed to girls maybe at colleges who are into a lot of a lot of maybe relationships, a lot of playing around, a lot of what. Then they say, is there a good woman that you can marry in this life? I've seen a lot of young men who would say like that. Is there a good woman? The things that we are seeing around, and they have that fear now to go into it because of the experiences they're having maybe in colleges and in maybe just around the female friends they've come across.
The
Yes,
morality that they are seeing.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Thank you. Mr. Abia, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you think marriage is a scam?
To my side, as an individual, I would say no. Marriage is not a scam. Marriage is a good thing. Um, Maybe just because of the situation, people are using that word. Marriage is a scam because they were scammed before, and maybe they were cheated before, or maybe their fellow did the same, or maybe their friends. It has happened to their friends. But you know, CJ, um, marriage is about what have you learned in the past, and how is your mind? What do you want in life? What do you know about marriage? You see, the big question here is what do you know about marriage? When you answer this question properly, you are going to run away from the word marriage is a scam. You know, CJ, the first thing when you want to marry, you go for a date with someone. When you are going for a date with someone, you know what is marriage and you know what you want. Okay? So when you are dating, you will see that no, this person I'm seeing here, is he or she is the right person? Okay, let's go now from dating to relationship. CJ, relationship is not a marriage, but it's where marriage begins. Okay? As you are doing that, you are able to search and see the caliber of your friend, the behavior of your friend, how he treats others or how she treats others, then how respectful is this person. So all those areas, it's a time for you now to see those areas in a relationship until you say no. Now I'm satisfied. This is the person I want to be with in life. Now the other person also have to be in acceptance with you also that you are the kind of person he or she wants to be with in her life or his life. Okay? So it's not about a 1 day issue, it's not about a week issue, it's not about a month issue. It needs time. It needs time. So when you try to look at all those things and then you have come to the question, that question you answered way back, what do you know about the marriage? Is it the same answer that your friend has? Does he or she knows what marriage is? Because others are going into marriage just because their friend got married. Others they marry just because of running away from the proverb of saying the elephant, the leg of elephant fall onto them. Atinapondapondo. Just because of running away from that words, then you decide to marry. No. First understand the big thing, marriage. What does it mean? It needs someone who is mature. It needs someone who has grown up, who knows what is good and what is right. So when you go those steps, you will know that now I'm ready to marry or I'm ready to get married. But if you don't understand what is marriage, then don't go for it. You are not ready yet. Because you are going to search a wife or a husband in a bar. Is that what it means to find a lover in a bar? No, no, no. Search
Mwambwenda,
your lover
Mr.
on a light
Abia,
flame. Yes,
Mr. Abia, Mwambwenda
yes.
on my details, Mwambwenda on my
Oh,
details, man.
let
So
me come
I'll
back
try to
then.
summarize so that I can put in another question. Nine. So mukajuveko ako manje.
Okay. No, no, no. I'll stop from here. I'll give room to Madam Caroline.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question that I have around this topic ni nkanyama soulmate. Okay. Do soulmates exist? What do you think about the issue yama soulmate? Hey, match made in heaven. Hey, shan. And I'll start with you, Auntie Caroline. Muganzapo bwanji nkanyama soulmate.
Wow. You make your own soulmate.
Okay.
You make your own soulmate. That's what I can say. You make your own soulmate. Like, yes, I think finding the right person, it's what I can say a soulmate. It's
Okay.
not about, um, you know, the right, a good man and a right man are two different things. It can be a good person, but a wrong man, a wrong partner. But when
Bwanji
you
manje.
find the right, yeah, not every good that you see is the right thing for you.
Okay.
What do I mean? Sometimes people have standards. Sometimes people have standard. I want someone who's looking tall. I want a light guy. I want a bodied, muscled person. and it's good looking, huh? But the wrong thing that you can't click. You can't, there's no chemistry between the two of you. You can't click. You can't, um, because one thing I know is that when you find the right thing, you need to, there's that connection between the two people. You connect spiritually, your soul, your mind, and everything. There's that connection. I think that's what I can call a soulmate. So you can find something that is looking good, but it's not the right thing that you are looking for. So finding, that's why the Bible says, find the right, it's a good thing, finding the right person for you. Because sometimes it's not about the appearance. That's what I was saying to say. It's not every good thing that you find is the right thing. So people have set standards. This is the type of a person. I want a light girl, fat, with the big bum, and and yet she's not the right person that you are looking for. So men are like hunters, huh? They are easily attracted by what they see. Then later on, they begin to get to know the person they found, to say, wow, it was just the appearance, but actually this is not the type of thing that I would want to put at home to say I call a wife for the rest of my life. So
Ati
that's why I
mkati mwa
said
hit
it's
na
not
boko
every,
some problems.
yeah, Mulis maggot. So that's why I said not every right thing and good thing are two different things.
It's not
So
a marriage
you
material.
like, yes, you are like a hunter. What you are attracted by what you see. So immediately you see something, you begin to know that thing, that person. When you begin to know that person, you realize to say, hey, what am I doing? This is not what I'm looking for. Okay? As a result, you run away, you disappoint the other person, and it ends there. So that's why I was saying to say, who's the moment? I feel it's the right person that it clicks. There's that connection, there's that mutual, there's the respect, there's that mutual understanding. You begin to
So
move from this stage to another. Yes, CJ.
if I put it as a yes or no question and say, do soulmates exist? What would be your answer?
Yes,
Yes, they
yes, they do.
exist.
Yes, they
Okay.
exist. Yes.
Okay, great.
It,
So
it, it's
a
it's
follow up on that
compatible.
one. Does everyone? Mhm.
It's what I
So
can say, summit. It's
Mhm.
compatibility. You are compatible. You
Okay.
connect in a certain way. Yeah.
Mhm. So does everyone have a soulmate?
Not at all. Unfortunately,
Okay.
not at all.
Mm. Even I'm going to be my
But
soulmate.
not at all. But you decide, but you already made a decision, you already moved in with this person. You just make a decision and maybe um uh, just accept to say this is what I have and I need to love what I have.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, good.
Yes. You just accept to say, okay, this is what I have. I need to live with what I have and begin learn to love what you have. For you to
Okay.
be happy, you learn to love what you have and you move on and it ends
You
there
accept it
because
as it is.
you accept, yes, you accept because you can't marry this. You say it's not my soulmate, you divorce, you keep on searching for a soulmate. You can't do that. You
Pakawamupeza.
can't do that. Yes.
Right.
Now, how many divorces will you have? How to move it? So
Uh,
it's as you are. It's when you are beginning the relationship before you go into marriage. That's when you know how compatible are we. Do we connect in certain ways? Okay.
okay.
It's soulmate. It's not about the butterflies. The butterflies finishes. They disappear at some point. you can't feel them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the connection
All right.
between these two. Yes.
Okay. I would like to ask the same question to Mr. Abia. Don't zapimpa munkaleko brief so that we can look at I think two other questions. Then we summarize because tonight's program is part one. It's an introduction. Mr. Abia, Kanyama soulmate mumayona bwanji. Do soulmates exist? Does everyone have a soulmate? Imumganzapo bwanji.
First of all, CJ, you have to understand the word itself, soulmate. When you find that, what does it mean to be a soulmate? Right? You find that it's about the characters, right? The characters of your husband or the characters of a wife are similar, okay? And then just because you feel excited because you will find someone who is similar behavior with you, then you said you have find your soulmate. The thing is, I'll get a language from Aunt Caroline to say you make your own soulmate. But when did you make your own soulmate? It's when you are in a relationship. You are asking God or Jehovah God to say, I need a husband or I need a wife who is remorseful, who is tolerant, who is humble, intelligent, who is decent, who have a decent dressing. So all sort of behavior, you have mentioned them in your prayer. You're asking Jehovah to give that kind of person you want. But the question is, are you remorseful yourself? Are you humble yourself? So if you are, then start showing them those signs that you have, so that someone who is searching for you should say, this is my soulmate. Okay? That is the time you can make your soulmate. It's about characters. The character that you have, show them. Then you find someone who has the same characters with you. Then you say you will find a soulmate. So it's about making yourself behavior. What behavior do you have? Don't say I want someone who is remorseful. Why yourself you're not remorseful? Then you say I don't have a soulmate. No, you have a soulmate, but you are not kind to wait for a right person. So the same thing is about soulmate is about a right person. It's an opposite of the word light person. That's a soulmate.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Abia. There are people who say muntaka kwatira means freedom are losing freedom. Does marriage, okay, when you move away from being single, do you lose your freedom?
Come again, your question. I didn't get your question.
The question is, does marriage does marriage translate to losing your freedom? Ukalekonkala single. Does it mean you've lost your freedom? There's a phrase that they like saying. One friend of mine once quoted the phrase like, you see someone marrying, especially for men, and there goes another fool who has lost his freedom. So does marriage translate to losing freedom? Mr. Abia, young and fasty, I'll throw the same question to Auntie Caroline.
The first answer I'll say no, not at all. That's a second question. That's a second answer. No and not at all. The thing is, when you are single, CJ, you want to marry, which means you are lacking something that is giving you a peace of mind. Okay? You are lacking someone who can give you a peace of mind. So you say, I want to marry because I need a partner who can assist me doing something. Okay, I want
So,
to live with
Mr.
someone.
Sorry to
So,
interrupt you, Mr. Abia.
okay,
As you are answering, I want you to
yes.
tie it with this follow-up question: is being single better than being married? So, answer answer the two as you go on in terms of if one loses the freedom, and is being single better than being married? You can go ahead.
When you talk about freedom, it's a peace of mind. Okay. So
Mhm.
when you're talking about freedom, it's a peace of mind. So if you are looking for someone to marry, you don't have a peace of mind because you need someone who can help you relieve that peace of mind. Because you are saying, okay, I want to marry, which means happiness is lacking somewhere. You don't have a partner. You need a partner. You're lacking.
Okay.
Then, in your second question, you say, come again. What is your question, really? I want to understand it.
Which is better, being single or married?
All right. On that question, I'll say both of them.
Or is
Both.
being single better than being married?
Both. They are better.
Okay.
If you have chosen to be single in your life, you have chosen a good thing. The Bible says, those who are single, they are better off than those who are married, because this one who is married, the duty that this person is carrying is less than this one who is single. That's what it means. Doesn't mean that when you go for a marriage, then you have less peace of mind or peace in your situation. No, then you are wrong there. You need to be taken to a certain school so that you can learn something.
Keep
So
it in family pressure.
if you are chosen to be single, it's a good
Uh-huh.
thing to yourself, but don't admire anyone. Okay, if you are single, then if you have chosen to be married, it's a good thing also, because I was born through marriage.
Mhm.
I was not born through a single life. Okay, if my parents were decided to be single, I couldn't be on earth.
Eh,
So if you have chosen to be single, you have chosen to be relieved from duties of marriage. That's what I can
okay.
say. See.
Thank you. Auntie Caroline, over to you. The same questions. Um, does marrying translate to losing your freedom? And which is being single better than being married?
Okay. To the first question, does marriage robs your freedom? I think to just concur with what Mr. Abia said, what is freedom? Freedom is not having freedom. It's a place where you don't have peace. Yeah. Marriage does not rob you your freedom. What happens when the two people are getting married? There is choosing to love someone and falling in love. I think the two choosing to fall in love with someone. I mean, choosing to love someone and falling in love with someone are two different things. Choosing to love someone, it's whereby the difference is whereby someone, the culture says you need to fall in love with someone. But choosing to love someone is it's like where it matters where even if you fall, maybe you have difficulties ahead of you, you still thrive. If you love someone, you still thrive. Falling in love, there are some issues that may come along the way, like you choose to fall in love with someone. You have maybe no control. You have no, it's like an accident. Falling in love with someone, it's like an accident. It just happened. Like accidentally, it's just happened. Okay? But you just wake up, you are with someone. So whenever there's a problems ahead of you. There's that where you say it was a mistake. Okay, I just fallen in. It was a mistake to fall in love with you. Okay, but when you choose to love someone, despite of the challenges that you face in life, you still stand by someone, despite whatever they go through, despite the mistakes they will do in the future, despite whatever you encounter, because you've chosen to fall in love, to love someone. Okay, so having freedom, it's how you relate with the other partner. So because you love so much each other, you feel you work together. You are always together. You pray together. You play together. You move together. You feel like when you're not with your other partner, you feel empty. Okay? There's that void, there's that emptiness because you've decided to love this person. So you don't feel the need to say they've robbed my freedom. It means they were not they are not the right person to be in your life. You are just there for marriage because maybe because of the name, because my friends are married, let me just marry. For the sake my friends are all married, let me just marry. They would start laughing at me to say I've grown, let me get married. So you feeling the void. You want the other person to feel the void that you didn't feel. So when you choose to love someone, it's different. You have that peace. You want to be with this person. Not that they are robbing you of your freedom. You want to be with this person. I've seen where men get married to say, I can't go clubbing with my friends now. I can't go watch football with my friends. I can't go do this with my friends, play soccer with my friends because of this person. So it means you are just marrying for the sake of marrying. You don't want to, I don't think you have chosen to love this person for the rest of their life. You are accidentally just being.
Kulina
Yes,
bamalonda
it is.
mu marriages bapasa banzawo ma pressure.
That's what
Wanting
I'm
to
saying.
know.
Because if you've chosen CJ to love someone, it's like they are part of you. You become one. You don't feel like the need, I want to be with my friends. No, you just want to be with this person. You can't, wherever you be, you are working, you can't wait to go and see your wife. Wherever you are with, you can't wait to go and meet your husband, to be with your husband. So it means there's oneness, that you've chosen to love this person. There's no gap between you two. So I don't feel you think there's robbing of freedom if you are in such a marriage. Then the other thing where you said, is it good to be single than to be
Yeah,
married? Am
which
I
is
right?
it's
Is
better,
that the question?
yeah, it's better to be single than married. Is it
It's
better to
better
be
to be
single than married?
single than marriage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. When you look at, for you and me to be there was first marriage, isn't it?
Yes.
God ordained marriage because the first marriage was in the Garden of Eden. When the two people decided to say, we do it. That was the first marriage. And God said, go and marry, go and fulfill the earth. Yeah, for you and me to be here talking right now, because there were two people who decided to marry and had us. We have children now. We have children who are even grown, who have finished colleges, who have started work. Tomorrow we'll be having our grandchildren. Okay, soon we'll be having our grandchildren because the Bible says, "Go and fill the land." Okay, so it's biblical where marriage is a good thing. You know, being single, it's not a decision that someone can be single. I feel someone being single, it's because of this misconception about marriage. A lot of misconception about marriage. That's what makes someone single. If you look well, there are men who have been single maybe for many years. They cannot be compared with a man who's married. That's why the Bible says, "He who finds a wife obtains finds a good
Brings a
thing and
good thing.
obtains favor."
Brings favor.
If you find a man who's successful, behind every successful man, there's a woman. There's just a role a woman plays in a man's life to succeed in a certain way. A man can have money, millions of money. If they are single, believe me, their lives is different with a man who has money with a wife. Most of the time. Most of the time. So, marrying, it's something that is beautiful. So staying single, it's not something that we can say it's a good thing. People have decided to stay single because of some certain elements. That has caused them to stay single. There's so many, like we have said, there's so many things that is making this person to be single. But when you go deeper, have interaction with them, have an intervention with them, you find that they will give you a lot of things what has made them sick, and they're not happy. And they're not happy. They want a suitable partner. They want to find a companion. They want to find a partner that they can stay with for the rest of their lives. So it's not something that someone can choose to be single. It's because of these elements that is making her to be single. And all they need is maybe finding someone who can help them to break these
Now,
barriers around them.
well, we are getting into the
Okay.
dying minutes of our program, and you alluded to misconceptions about marriage as well as being single. So, as we are winding down, I would like you to give some of the myths that you are aware of and misconceptions about single life. For example, there's one where they say, like, if a person isn't getting married, maybe they're under a case, such kind of a things. What do you think, and what are some of the myths that or misconceptions around single life that come to your mind, Auntie Caroline?
Yeah, I've heard about those misconceptions where it says n'abantu bako bada bayishireefo tabawupirwepo. Okay? Maybe because bali mu operation ali abantu bako bada batabawupirwe nawo tawupwa. There are those misconceptions like that. And I think yes, there are those misconceptions like that. And I think what is a belief? A belief is something that you believe in. And it's like where you say, you find, what can I say? You find something smelling along the road, then you spit. Why do we spit? Why do we spit? That's a belief. Huh?
Yeah.
That is just a belief. Okay? That's just a belief. And we've carried it on to say, because whatever you believe, it happens that way. Okay? So there are those who have stayed single because I can't stay. All men are
Dogs.
just dogs. All men are dogs. Because she saw this dog, this man who behaved like a dog, like maybe was sleeping around or maybe what. They experience that and they look at all men to be they've like what can I say? You have labeled to say this like this, all men are like that, all men are bad, all men are like that. You see, you've labeled this. So this is something that is stuck in your head. It's a stuck thought that you really need help. You need to go through counseling. There are so many women that you meet. Go through these conferences where you meet other women, the experiences. There's like I know this one which is a Kupes. Kupes is a young women something. It brings all young women. Yeah, I think from is it from 18 to 35. They come together, they have different speakers who speak about Who's a woman? Who are you? They talk about also marriages. They talk about finding the right suitor, the right partner. They talk about their experiences. Those who have gone through abuse, they'll talk about it and tell the young woman to say, not every man is a bad man. There are good men out there. Okay?
Right.
So there are also other women who have gone through different types of, they will talk about their experiences and tell you. They say broken crayon, they can still color. So it's not a woman who has failed her marriage that you cannot learn from. It's not maybe a woman who has gone through this, who has gone through singleness and talk about it, why they've not gotten married. They will share their experiences. Then you learn from that. There are also other gatherings for young men. I've seen young men conferences where they talk about becoming a man, becoming a good father, becoming a good loving man. There are all those conferences. Attend those conferences and you learn something from it. You learn something from it. You hear from different experiences of people, and you get to learn to say in life, there are failed marriages, there are good people, there are bad raised men that have abused women. There are also good raised men with good hearts that have been good husbands. Okay,
Yeah.
there are also women who have been raised in a very, differently, and there are also women who have been raised in good, who can become good partners. So you learn a lot through these conferences. You also interact with other older women who have a lot of different experiences, and we learn a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Abia, same
Yes.
questions as we are summarizing. Ma myths na ma misconceptions tuntu twene mnamverako on single life tomne tunyamula sisiwo tunyamula matu that are not true. Such kind of things, for example, ati ngati mtu sakwatiriwa maybe notembererewa, maybe things like single people are lonely people or they are promiscuous. It's a general statement. What are some of the myths and misconceptions that come to your mind?
Um, if you can follow those teachings and mwayamba nozigwisa ntchito zamene izo, I think I can say you are a lost person. Yes. There is nothing like being cursed. There is nothing like all those areas that you have mentioned, CJ. They are not there. You know, that's why I like the parables in the Bible. There were a good people like those of Bereans. They were different to these Corinthians. Okay? The Corinthians would like to learn something, then some they forgot. Some they don't even use that what they have learned. But these Bereans, um, when they learn something, they go for a research, find the truth. That's when they come to believe that teachings. Okay? So if you have heard something, no, marriage is a case, no, marriage is a what? Research. Do your own research. Now, the areas of research, you are not researching on Facebook. No, no. You don't research on Facebook. You don't research on Instagrams, Twitter. No, you won't find that. Research in your community. Research in your church. Research through elders. Research through your parents. Is this what it means? Is this what it means? Then you find a right answer. You see now the belief that CJ you have asked to say, no, when you got married, you wrote some freedom. That means you are not settled. You're not settled yet. Then you want to go for marriage. No. What freedom are you going to lose? And what trouble are you inviting? If that trouble you are inviting, then you know that it is trouble. Then you are inviting it yourself. Okay? So first, let yourself be settled first. If you have settled in mind, you have settled in everything. As you go for marriage, you say, I'm going for a good thing. There is nothing like a KCJ.
Mm,
People, they hate kindness. You know, people, they hate waiting for so long. No, 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 no. Be patient, my brother. Be patient, my sister, so that you don't fall into a pit tree that looks like it has a protection on top, but inside there is nothing like protection. Okay,
mm.
seek guidance whenever it is. You will find a right person. You will never believe those biblical of saying there is a case, there is no, there's what? No, no, no. Some you like to say, I need someone who is good, remorseful, educated, kindness. But you yourself, from those behaviors that you have mentioned, you don't have even a single one. Eh? You need you someone who is kindness, but you yourself you're not even kind. How do someone is going to cope with you? No. Then you say it's a case. Eh, it's a case to yourself then. It's a case to
Um,
yourself. But you have let it be. That's what
uh,
I can say, DJ.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abia. Auntie Caroline, thank you very much. Um, Tonight's discussion has been around single life. This is the Sunday edition of Ubuntu channel, and it is part one of single life or being single. Well, that's all the time that we had for the program tonight. Want to thank Auntie Caroline. Want to thank Mr. Abia. We thank each and every one of you who participated. Jed Cranny, thank you for being part of the discussion, and we noted your comment there. And each and everyone who was part of tonight's broadcast, please do make sure that you like and follow our channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, so that you don't miss out on anything. Next, be on the lookout for part two of single life, so that we can get into the details of being single and we can interact, be able to, educate and build one another around this subject. Well, from me, Auntie Caroline, Mr. Abia, Evangelist Shaabula, and everyone who's been part of the broadcast, want to say thank you, good night, and God bless you. See you next time.